please join me in celebrating and welcoming your 2025 Distinguished Alumni Award winner, Ian Bremmer.
Absolutely.
And then here's our award. And because he's got those millions of social media followers, I've decided that his people would really like it, as would I, to do a selfie with all of you.
Absolutely.
All right, we need you. Give me a Tulane chair, go roll away. All right, congrats.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks.
Enough of that. It is great to be back at Tulane. Thank you so much for inviting me. I do realize that it's possible you decided to ask me to come because you neglected to look into my actual time here as a student. I was 15 years old when I came to Tulane. I was a kid from the projects outside of Boston. I went to an all-boy Catholic high school, and as you might imagine, this led to an unusually exciting freshman year. I lied about my age, both for drinking purposes, which I had never done before, and also for dating purposes, which I had never done before. Tulane girls were not going to go out with a 15-year-old. I missed classes, I slept through a final, and I ended up with a 1.9 GPA my first term. Can I get an amen for all of you 1.9s? I mean, Brian's talking about Florida, New Jersey, but this is a little more real, right? My 1.9's out there. So when Tulane put me on probation and threatened to send me back home to Boston, I figured I should spend less time at the boot and more time in my classes. In the end, I graduated without further controversy. For me, Tulane was an incredible laboratory. It was of personalities and of people, of studies and of learning, of theory and facts on the ground. And I have this School of Liberal Arts to thank that I can tell the difference. But when I graduated as a political scientist, I quickly realized that no one actually hired political scientists. And this was no bueno, right? I mean, this is the most popular major here. Thank God, right? 1.9s in political scientists. Let's go. And people have come up to me over the years, over the decades now, and they say, oh, Ian Bremmer, I majored in political science. I'm like, oh, that's great. What do you do now? I sell insurance. I'm like, no, not good. So I decided to start a company to persuade people that political science mattered. And 30 years later, I've made a career of that. And I've made it possible for at least a few of you to have jobs being political scientists. And I suppose that's why I'm getting this award, and I am truly honored by it. But at the same time, I am a little bummed out about it. Because compared to pretty much everyone on the second tier, all of you parents, I am failing the most dramatically in my broader professional efforts. Because it's tough to be a political scientist right now. The stuff I work on, helping people understand political leaders and governments and the world order, these things are all falling apart. And back when I graduated, that was not true. I was in the class of 1989. And that is the year you want to graduate as a political scientist. That's when the wall came down. We won the Cold War. Rule of law, collective security, free trade, democracy for everybody. And the problem is that we were winners, but we were not leaders. The leaders were the people that created the order that won back after World War II, on the ashes of that destroyed world. the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe, General MacArthur rebuilding Japan, our enemies, the United Nations, a US-led global order. But today, we have grown very comfortable as the most powerful country in the world, the almighty dollar, the only global military, the top businesses, and of course, the best universities. We are today in the most stable part of the world with generally friendly neighbors, Canada and Mexico. I mean, at least until we started fighting with them. Can't trust the Canadian communists up there. We're also protected by both great oceans. For generations, we have been the most privileged nation, but our political system has become the most dysfunctional among rich democracies. Now, most everyone agrees on this. We even agree on who to blame. It's the other guys. So what are we going to do about it? I use my voice to speak up because we can't fix a problem until we call it out and we know what it is. And I get things wrong all the time, but I say what I truly believe in the hope that that helps other people do the same. Because when we stand up, when law firms stand up, when universities stand up, courage is contagious. This is not just about people being good or bad. We have to show people the way. So, okay, let me turn to you, Tulane class of 2025. What will you do about it? Well, first, the good news, you already have. You chose the liberal arts, which means at some point, you made a conscious decision to pursue ideas over income, at least initially. It's brave. It's noble. It is confusing to your family. But what you've been doing here matters, because while engineers are out there designing drones, you've been asking the more important question: who decides where they fly? While business schools are simulating markets, you've been asking, who is this economy actually working for? While accountants are balancing the books, you've been asking, why do we pay taxes? One libertarian there applauded that. That's good to know. Somebody find him on the way out. Let's talk about the world you're walking into, because it's not 1989, but it's lively. It's lively. We got a climate crisis, a technology arms race. We got a bunch of hot wars. We've got global alliances falling apart. We got superpowers behaving like exes who keep texting each other at 2 a.m. We got a U.S. domestic political environment that feels like a Mad Libs game with too many Sazeracs. But I'm not here to depress you, because that's what Twitter's for. I'm here to remind you that this is your moment. And no, not in the "you are the future" way that commencement speakers love to say before the parents applaud them. I mean that you actually have an edge. Over your 4 years, you studied complexity. You learned that history doesn't repeat, but it does plagiarize. You know that unprecedented just means we didn't study the past closely enough. You know that context is what matters, that headlines don't tell the story. In a world of polarization, you studied nuance. In a time of information overload, you've practiced discernment. In an age obsessed with outcomes, you've explored meaning. And hopefully you also learned along the way that ChatGPT notwithstanding, hard work does pay off. So let me point out that all of those skills that I mentioned don't just make for good leaders, they make for good people. Understanding complexity, believing there's value in the truth, seeking the good in people, and looking beyond the moment that's right in front of you, these are skills that we need for life. And you're in it right now. A lot of you ambitious young people set out these markers of achievements for yourselves. And of course, here you are sitting on top of a big one. Having achieved one, you push for the next. And so you think, my real adult life begins when I get my first job, when I'm out of grad school, when I buy my first home. Don't do that. Your real adult life is already here. It starts right now, let's say. You make mistakes, you have regrets, you grow for them. And if you stay true to the skills and values that you've learned here at Tulane, if you care about the family and the friends that have moved you forward, your life will be rich, whatever path you choose. So, what should you do with your liberal arts degree? Whatever you want. I mean, unless it's consulting, in which case don't tell your professors because some of them still believe in you. But some of you will go into journalism, helping us understand a world spinning faster by the day. So others will work in policy, trying to keep the world from setting itself on fire. Some of you will become artists, storytellers, teachers, nonprofit leaders, or the only ethics advisor at a tech company full of Stanford dropouts. That job will be important. I'm not saying it'll be easy. Your algorithms will try to convince you every day that good judgment doesn't matter and that more stuff and more money will make you happy. And you need to fight against that. You need to stay curious, stay human, stay weird, but the good kind of weird. The kind that doesn't let cynicism turn into detachment. And please, when you start running things, and trust me, that day is coming sooner than you think, remember what you learned here, that ethics without power doesn't accomplish much. And power without ethics is what got us here. So Tulane graduates, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you to be as welcoming to strangers as you were to me as a 15-year-old freshman. I'm counting on you to use new technologies for good, especially artificial intelligence, that allow you to improve your own capabilities. Inconceivable when I graduated. I'm counting on you to keep up as the world changes around us, to connect more closely with those that are different from you, and to recognize your connections with one another in spite of those differences. I'm counting on you to be admired not because of your money and your privilege, but because you act the way others know you should. I'm counting on you to be inspiring not because of your charisma and personality, though our drummer doesn't have to worry about that, but because you set the standard. I'm counting on you to be leaders again, because if you don't, we're leaving it to the finance majors. Tulane graduates, I believe in you, and I want to offer my heartfelt thanks for giving me the opportunity to tell you that, and my congratulations to you on this most important day. Thank you all very much.